And here I am once again, finding myself at a standstill in my life. I don't really know what I want to do or what really makes sense to do, if that makes any sense. I don't know what to make of life right now. I guess the best way to describe it is that I'm learning every day, and the more I learn, the happier I find that I am within myself. Being happy is one of the things I'm best at. Even when any situation in life kind of just flips me off or just throws me to the side, I always have this sort of feeling that I can always be content within myself to be happy for who I am and where I came from. Because my past is great, and everything that I've done in life has always been so beautiful and creative, and there's always been a way that I can kind of get a feeling for what something meant in my life and what the significance was. I don't think there was ever a moment in my life where I hadn't had a clue of which way to turn, or had any super doubt in my mind that I wasn't doing something right, or something didn't feel like it was part of the whole overall scheme of my life. I felt like I've always been in this situation where I've always had a lot of things going for me, and no matter what I do, as long as I focus my full heart and mind into it, I'm going to be successful. It doesn't bother me that things in life might slow me down or kind of trip me up for a second, because I know I can always look back on my past, and I always have all these great ideas and great talents that I can offer with the world. It's just a matter of applying myself and therefore going out and being the best person I can be at anything I do. I never really found myself interested in just doing one thing in life. I really want to experience a lot of things and then be able to say that I've done a lot. I don't want to be that one guy who just settles down and just does one thing extremely well. I want to be that kind of guy who does a lot of things very good. I don't want to just do one thing and get bored with this one thing that I'm stuck in my life. I like to be able to go out and experience everything I can, because in the end, that's really what life is about, is just going out and exploring things and trying a bunch of new things and have new experiences. So people might complain or say that I'm not really settling down in life and doing one particular thing really well, but I don't feel like that's really anything meaningful to me. I feel that in life, if you're going to be living this one time, this one experience that you'll remember will be gone forever. And there'll only be things like this that really say who you were as a person, and will leave your mark on the rest of history. Are these kind of things right here, these videos, these things that can stay a long time. And they're the only fragments of who we remember we are as. Someone in the future looked back, a large amount of us are going to be insignificant in history. We're not going to have any sort of mark. But we do have this contentment, and we have this ability in our minds to be able to remember all of these situations that we have done and all these experiences that we have had, and we store them up here, and we can access it at any time. So any time that we have an experience that we remember and we love, it's obviously going to be stored in our minds for as long as we can live. Unless our brain degenerates or we become a vegetable, we're always going to have those thoughts and those experiences in our mind that we can hold on to for our whole life and look back on. If you're ever in a rough spot and you have nothing going for you at the time, you can always transfer back to better times, and that'll make you feel better. If we were beings who just forgot things like that, it wouldn't be life. It would just be a moment after a moment after a moment, and we'd forget every moment, and we'd never progress, and we'd never learn. We'd never become better at what we did, because we'd always forget it. So the capacity to remember things like I can do, and just remember my past, and always look back and be happy about my past and all the great times and experiences and people that I've met. But now, speaking of the future, I'm not quite sure what I want to do in this next phase of my life. I know I definitely want to move on from what I'm doing now. I can definitely see a lot of joy in capturing these moments. That way people can remember them. Because I have something about being able to remember the past, because the past always has good times for me, and I feel like having an experience where you can actually film someone and get them on video that you can store for the very, very, very foreseeable future is an amazing thing to me. Being able to capture what it was like at a point previous to where we are now, because every moment it just passes us and it leaves. There have been several million moments that I can define in this video just alone that have passed by. And without that kind of capacity to remember these things, nothing would ever change. Everything would be the same. But that's something I do love about filmmaking. Being able to capture a moment, create a moment, and store it so that you can always access it again. Because the greatest way to evolve and become better in life is obviously to learn from your experiences and learn from the experiences of previous generations and your parents. And that's just how we become better as people, and that's how we learn. So just wanted to make a little video about kind of where I am in life right now and how I don't really know what I want to do per se, but I don't want to be tied down anymore. I'm tired of being tied down. I've had a whole year where I've lived with myself that I just feel like I've just wasted it. There have been some great times that I can remember, but most of the time I'm just stuck in this mundane sort of cycle that I just keep repeating over and over. Nothing seems fresh or new or original. It's all just the same thing over and over. And being able to create those new experiences and not a continuous loop is what makes life exciting and worthwhile. So I definitely want to become better at this, getting out more, doing more experiences, and just progressing as a person rather than just continuously cycling through the same thing over and over. So I just don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm sure something will come up where I can learn new things and meet new people and have new experiences, because it's happened all the time in my life, and I've been very lucky to have that. So it's just a matter of time telling what is going to happen to me next.